Financing SDGs.
There is untapped potential for mobilizing different sources of finance for SDGs.
However, systemic challenges exist for countries in the region to tap this potential.
Countries will need tailored solutions. For Nepal, 3 I's matter: identification of relevant goals, instruments, and investments, including financing.
UNDP can offer services across public, private, domestic and international, and new instruments.
These services provide value in analysis and dialogue, readiness and policy and institutional reform, and for resource mobilization and implementation.
We need to invest in and increase our capabilities in financial instruments.
We also need to innovate on our own internal systems and legal instruments so that they better match external realities.
We need incentives for staff to collaborate, but collaborate for a reason, for results.
What did we learn?
Effective cross-team work requires greater clarity.
Working across teams can lead to richer discussions and more effective solutions.
Hi, I was with the Private Sector Solutions team. We were a group of 22 people, both from programs and operations. We had 3 meetings. We decided in our very first meeting that what we wanted to do was to develop a private sector strategy for UNDP's engagement in the region. So we came up with this draft. It's still a long way to go, but I'd like to emphasize on 3 of the points that we discussed. The first is we talked a lot about BRH's value addition. Not just as connectors and advisors substantively for our country offices in the region, but also as operational troubleshooters. We recognize that our due diligence systems, also when it refers to the public sector enterprises in the region, state-owned enterprises are not up to the mark. The second thing we discussed was the need to have a coherent strategy. We recognize that there's a lot of work that we're doing as part of different teams, but that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So the recognition that a strategy would really help towards this process. The third point was that we recognize that the private sector is already engaged in development. They're working a lot on the SDGs. So collaborating with the private sector is a win-win situation, and we can ensure that their approach to development is based on a common rights-based do no harm approach. Thank you.
Guten Tag. Heute sprechen wir darüber, wie wir UNDP verändern können. When we think about communications, we think about Cedric, Matat and Kate. They are our team, but we have many others who work with us. We have country office communications officers, we have individuals, and they all work on different items on extreme lives, global goals, tsunami drills. But do we have a strategy? We are being told to be strategic from our leaders in New York. We are going to work on how do we work better, how do we know what worked, what is our focus and when, what skills do we have, what skills do we need, and who is going to be communicating. The answer is all of us, because that gives UNDP a credible voice. This is all a result of our group which designs our future. And as we all know, we have Sophia. Auf Wiedersehen.
These are the results of the Income and Delivery Increase Group. The issues. We see limited technical capacity within country offices, constraints of the UNDP structure, and thinly spread country office capacity. The improvement actions. First of all, delivery. A need for identification of country office procurement support and incentive mechanisms for cross-team collaboration. Improvement of income. A need for new services or sources of income and possible partnerships with financial institutions. The lessons learned. Problem assessment considering diverse perspectives. Data gathering across teams is valuable in informing solutions. A creativity enhancement with sincere freedom to design solutions and acknowledgements of cost of time and effort for these exercises.
Thank you! Hi, from Showcase Our Best team.
With all these reports, when do I have time to support country offices?
How can we improve the quality of our reports that we share with donors, governments, our own headquarters?
But still be able to support country offices to achieve SDGs.
Duplicated and inefficient reporting. Short notice and ad hoc requests.
Effective and streamlined process that makes it easier on all of us to do the reporting. I hope we can use technology a lot more and make sure that we can do the reporting from anywhere.
How?
Using technology to update event calendar for BRH and country offices.
Use SharePoint.
Station report and build database.
Develop standard template. Be proactive. Knowledge sharing station. Create user-friendly guidebook.